Hello class, we're going to talk about a couple basic acrylic painting setup topics. And the first is safety. So now acrylic painting is generally safe to use. There's two things I want you to remember. One is if you're ever painting, I always recommend having some ventilation. Open a window and open a door, and that'll create some ventilation in your room if you do work in your room, or you could work outside. It's also great to work next to a window because that'll give you light. You need lots of light so that you can see what you're painting. Next, you're going to want to make sure that when you're painting, you don't have food and drinks near your painting area. Okay, so if I'm painting and I got my paints out, I wouldn't suggest, having my drink right here, okay? And why? Well, if I go for a drink, then it's very possible that with my paint, it could be all over my hands, could get onto here. It's easy that paint can easily get onto this rim and then get into my mouth and I can ingest it, and that's not good. If I'm eating, that's bad too. Keep your drinks and keep your food away from your painting area. Okay, so now when you go to mix colors on your palette, you're gonna put the raw colors on the edge, okay? And this is usually helpful in keeping your paints organized. So you put them on the edge when they're raw, and then when you mix them, you just bring them towards the middle. Now, we're going to talk about the water jar. So if you have to go wash paint off your brush because you're going to use a different color, what you're first going to want to do is you're going to want to lightly just dab it onto a paper towel. Now, I wouldn't suggest going like this, pulling it out. That's going to mess it up, okay? So lightly dab it and then do this. Okay. And now, I wouldn't say this is clean enough for storage, but it's at least clean enough to set down. Okay, and then if you'd like to move to a different color, depending on how close the color is, this should be sufficient. If you want to get to a very different color, then you might want to go to the sink and clean it there. Now, I wouldn't suggest leaving your brushes in the paint jar. This is bad because it can mess up this area of the brush and start to loosen up the glue. And then this could fall off. This right here will fall off. The next important thing is the mister. This is important because acrylic paint dries quickly. So I would say about every 5 to 7 minutes, you're gonna want to mist it. Now you don't have to go like that, just a light mist, okay? And this will keep it wet, all right? And it'll allow you to mix colors and not have to remix them because they dried.